sorry about that. I thought I'd come on here for a little bit and talk to you about everything that's been going on. After the election, which, by the way, was a landslide, I didn't expect Michigan to even do it, but we did it, and it was mostly the rural areas. I mean, Detroit was smaller blue, and there was only a few small areas, but it was a landslide. But the ones that really got the blue states to be blue, and that's why Arizona and all of them are taking forever to do anything, because they didn't ask for ID. So that's the reason. But I seen, and it's very strange, California is now turning red and pink. So yeah, people are getting tired of it. But anyway, you know, and then I want to talk about for a minute or two about I'd say JR investigates. He drives me crazy. I mean, he interrupts and talks over people, and then he's bringing up a conspiracy theory on this some sort of explosion that happened in Kentucky. It sounds like it's kind of like a food coloring place. And then his girlfriend was trying to explain it because she looked it up, and she was trying to explain it. He said, don't bring in the conspiracy. You know, I'm sick of hearing conspiracy theories. First of all, everything we heard on all these legacy medias and these actors and all these highfalutin people and all that, those are conspiracies. But, you know, in the meltdown between the people, I mean, some of these people have gone unhinged with poisoning people. They're doing bad stuff to people. They said they're gonna disown people, this and that, and all that crap. We even had I think he was a father, you know, like a religious, like Catholic type thing, but I don't think he was Catholic. I think he was either Methodist or Presbyterian, saying we were all going to hell because we voted for Trump. So I guess we'll see, but he probably will be one of those that says, I never knew you, because it was crazy. But yeah, they're cutting their hair, they're trying to make themselves look ugly, and this and that, which they're already ugly in the first place. And then when you notice, my glasses are small, and they're wire-rimmed. They're not freaking, like, goggles. I don't like the looks of goggles on my face. And notice I got, here's my hair, luxurious, like this one that she's shaving her hair and couldn't even figure out how to do it. Oh, could cut this luxurious hair off. Her hair was short. That's not luxurious, and it didn't even look shiny. So forget that. And then there's this one that had supposedly had 130 IQ, looking up how to poison men. That was done in from this woman back in the 1700s, I think. She did that instead of the divorce part. So she's telling people to do that. And then you got people saying unalive and try to contact with people that'll unalive a certain president-elect. Those people should be in jail, because even with Biden, I mean, yeah, I want to smack him upside the head a time or two, but I should never do that. That is stupid. And by the way, you can be traced for saying that stuff. I hope you know that. But I don't know, this freaking world's crazy. But I did also learn that because they think they're all going to lose their rights. What's a right? Abortion. And they said they was going to, they never going to touch a man. They're going to keep their legs crossed and all this other stuff. And, you know, they should have done that a long time ago. Then we have to worry about it. But for some unknown reason, I've been on my feed, and I don't look him up, but I've been on here. I came to YouTube a real long time ago, but never really started making videos until I started seeing things that I had visions of, and I started seeing these things, so I started following. First had to do with the Mormon Church excommunicating people. Then I led to this one crazy guy that was supposedly convert to Judaism, and he was crazier than a box of rocks. And then we had Jonathan Clack, who's just about as half crazy. But, yeah, and then I started doing a lot of stuff and symbols, and it just led me to really weird stuff, and I'd find, because I was looking up Freemason from all this stuff, and then all of a sudden I started getting, there is a creator that was looking into the Knight Templar and stuff like that. And I seen the Iron Cross, and then I started thinking, you know, and then all of a sudden all these symbols started popping up. And I'd just look up something random, and I'd get all these symbols, like Coca-Cola, and the Star of David, and Starbucks, and the swastika, Iron Cross, the talisman, that's something Joseph Smith had from the Freemasons. You know, it's supposed to protect them and all that stuff. That's why I think they gave Pence when they gave him that coin. Because the Freemasons, you know, is a big thing in there. But then, like I was saying, just yesterday, now, I didn't look these up. I haven't mentioned this mustache guy that was a bad person over in Europe years ago in the 1930's. And they all of a sudden started popping up these documentaries. And learned that, and I'm going to get into this stuff even more, but had learned that they had a republic back then, I can't remember where it is. It's right next to Germany, the border or something. That was a republic for 100 and some days, and then went back to a democratic democracy. And Hitler had left when it was Republican, and then he went back. He was a Democrat. Democrat democracy. Yep. And his parents were cousins, second cousins. They got married. And it was crazy. I mean, and then I found out, and it didn't dawn on me, because back then, when I had another channel, before I took that down, everybody was talking about re-education camps and stuff like that. You know what I think that is? The school system. Because Adolf did that in schools. We educated children to be what the Third Reich, and they taught kids to do that, and they grew up to be that way. And the only ones that stuck up for him was Mussolini back in the day. Those were Mussolini, and that was communist socialists and stuff like that, and he didn't like the communist way, and stuff like that. But he was a lot worse than that, so he didn't like that. But he did have social programs. What he did was open the border, like we know where is done here and everywhere else in the West, and brought those people in. It didn't matter. He brought them in and had the Jewish people, because they were going through the Great Depression, and had those people, he started spending money to build roads, railroads, and all that other stuff, just so he could do what he did to them. But that didn't work at that time, so he had to keep pushing. He was in power for a long time. He was in power for a long time, and he destroyed the whole economy and everything else, and he was doing it on purpose. And I mean, but him and the Soviet Union always had a beef, and he tried to. He wanted to go to war with the Soviet Union, and he was kind of like laying off for a little bit, and then finally decided that he was going to do it. And when he was in the war with the Soviet Union, he was losing to the Soviet Union. And a lot of it was land grab. That's what he did, was try to grab land, and stuff like that. And he wanted to go into Poland. I think he did go in and occupy Poland. But I have to, do some more studying. Even though I've known about this stuff for a long time, it's just a good refresher. And some of the stuff I didn't even know. But then a person said that Mein Kampf was not a good book at all. I mean, it wasn't even really that great as it is in writing. But they had burned all the Mein Kampfs. I don't know, there might be a few left, but I know my ex-husband, his mother's parents were from Hungary, and they came over here probably during that war, and they came through Ellis Island, and legally, and they made sure that they went through the process and all that stuff. Even her dad hadn't made them speak English, because this was their country, which is, tells you what people that really want to come to this country will do to stay in this country instead of doing what these people are doing in this country. And my ex-husband's dad bought a book, Mein Kampf, and it was in her bookshelf for a long time, and I do believe that he's the one that got the Mein Kampf. But there's not that many left, because they burned them. but it's like a Bible burning. I mean, they gave those books for when you got married over there, like a Bible. You know what I mean? But another thing, Adolf Hitler was a Catholic. He was a Catholic, and he was trying to do the same things that the Knights Templar did back in the day before them. And Biden is Catholic. See, that's what upsets me with people taking, and he was against Christians too, not just Jewish people. He was against Christians. But that's what makes me mad when even the Republican Party or anybody that brings up the Catholics that they're the greatest things in peanut butter, and they're Christian. They're not Christian. If they were Christian, they wouldn't have to talk to Mary and pray to Mary to get through to Jesus. They wouldn't have to talk to a priest confessing their sins. All you have to do, being a Christian, is to speak to them yourself and confess your sins. You don't have to go through anybody else. You don't have to tell anybody else. You confess it to God that you're sorry, and then you have to make sure you don't try to do it again. I mean, it's hard. Nobody's perfect. And when people say these bad things about Trump, even my daughter had a meltdown. I had to keep after her not to go down that path, because these people from the legacy media and all these Hollywood people, it's brainwash, it's propaganda. And it stays in your head, and then people believe it because they're, people are supposed to, follow them, but I quit following them a long time ago. But people don't realize the damage that they've done to a lot of people. And I don't think this whole thing with these groups not doing anything, it's too quiet right now. And who's running this country? It's too quiet right now. They've already tried protests in New York with the illegals. It's going to be a problem. But the majority of the people in this country voted the way they wanted to see this country go. And the silent majority spoke up, and if they don't like it, they all promised they were going to leave, but I ain't seen them leave. Rob Reiner said he was going to set himself on fire. I was going to go on his thing and say, hey man, I thought you were going to set yourself on fire. I want to see it. Do a video of it so I can see it. Whoopi Goldberg was supposed to go to Canada, which Canada's a lot worse. It ain't no different than here, and the UK, I mean, everybody is glad, and they called it the revolution, is what happened here. And the people, anyway, some of the leaders aren't like the France. There's a lot of them that are mad and angry. But I hope that President-elect keeps his word, picks the right people to be in charge of certain things, and does what's right for the people. And I'm gonna hold him to the fire. He said he was going to. I believe he's going to. But it's not going to be overnight, because this did not take overnight. And people need to still keep preparing, because I've been hearing that food prices are going to get worse, which I have no doubt, and stuff like that, and even the stock market might crash. So still keep getting prepared and doing what you need to do in case you might need just a couple canned goods here and there, and stuff like that, and get stuff like batteries, solar lights, seeds, planting stuff. I just bought not too long ago a grow light, which was reasonable. I got it on Amazon for under $10, so that was pretty reasonable. And that's what I'm going to do. I've got a plant stand I got to put together, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been just piddling around here, and then I was so tired. I mean, this last 4 years was so dang tiring. Oh my God! And then I just was set free from the warning I had for the last 4 years. I have warning on my channel for 4 years. What the heck? But yeah, but I just need people to realize that, you know, you need to be safe, because there's people out there that are really bummed out and they're not in their right mind. I can guarantee that. You know, when they're putting stuff on people's cars that have certain stickers on them with it burns, takes the skin off people, which is probably acid, on their cars and stuff like that at Walmart. So you need to still be vigilant out there. It's just a lot going on, and you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. So just be safe. And I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to. But with that being said, you know, I'd like to say God bless. Peace and love to all of you, and take care of yourself and your family, and make sure everybody's taken care of, that you have food for your family, water, especially water, medicines, over-the-counter medicines. I heard they were going to they took off NyQuil and all those stupid medicines off there again. I don't know why. They said they didn't have the ingredients right. Yeah, right. But yeah, you need to, you know, get what you can and stuff like that, and stay safe, and God love you. Peace and love. Be safe.